Next question. Do SAT or ACT scores help with financial aid? And if a student gets a high score, can they get more money to pay for college? Yes and yes. What you'll find in this process is there are certain thresholds that schools dictate independently. So if I'm applying to school X and their average scores on the SAT are for their last class that they admitted are somewhere in the range of 1,200 to 1,350 or something. So it's a fairly competitive school, but that's generally what their students had from their most recent freshman class, which I'll get to in a second about how you can find that information. But when you're looking at those things, the higher you are on that scale for that particular school, knowing that each year they're kind of inching up, you want to be as high as possible on that scale, not only to help with your admissions, help with getting admitted, but if you're on the higher end of the average, you're more attractive to that school to keep around. And those are very easy metrics for admissions offices to look at and say, we're going to set a cutoff at this level. So, and if you reach that level, that means X amount more money in financial aid, or these grants become available at that point. So that's just from the school, in the school's financial aid packages. But additionally, outside scholarships, which you can search for all over the internet, there are so many scholarship opportunities that you can look for. Those generally, there are requirements. If you meet a certain level of GPA and test score, you become eligible for more scholarship opportunities. So ultimately, the higher your score is, the more money is going to be available for you. That's just a general rule that you can live by. So yeah, and back to the point I was talking about earlier about how to find these score ranges for schools that you're interested in. If you go to Google and put in the name of the school and followed by freshman profile and hit enter, the first return on that search, 9 times out of 10 is going to be the page on the admissions portion of the school's website that specifically gives you, here was average class rank, here was average GPA, here was average test scores. Here were the kinds of things they were doing outside of school in extracurricular activities. So that's a really easy kind of search strategy that you can use as you're starting to create that college list, which it's never really too early to start that. And definitely something that I've found is a very easy way to get to that information fast.